attention is moving over to Canelo and the potential that he takes on pound-for-pound talent Terence Crawford. Now, in my mind, maybe the climb in weight will overcome the talent that Crawford has in against Canelo if it is to materialize as the two fight and sign on the dotted line. Do you see it that way? Do you see a route to victory for Terence Crawford?
I think it's a mystery fight because you can never underestimate somebody with the competitive attitude and the resourcefulness of Terence Crawford. I can't tell you how many people told me before Crawford's last fight that was going to be his comeuppance, and I said, no, I don't think so. I think he's too skilled, too seasoned, and has too much for that opponent, and he easily knocked him down 3 times, right? Mm-hmm. So Terence is a spectacular talent. And he has one of the greatest assets any fighter can have. He has an innate, inbred mean streak. Loves his mother with an overwhelming passion, but he has a mean streak that he can access at certain moments during the fight, as he did in the last one. And I don't count him out against a larger, stronger man, Canelo Alvarez.
Shout out to Seconds Out for a wonderful interview with Jim Lampley. You know, I took a picture with Jim Lampley back in 1997 at the All-Star Cafe after the Lennox Lewis-Oliver McCall 2 fight, payback or playback. Shout out to Jim Lampley. I want to get him on the show, man. He is the voice of boxing, and one of you networks need to bring him back to prime time. None of this streaming stuff. Y'all need to bring him back to a network. I know DAZN is streaming, but you know what I mean. You know, more and more people are starting to hop on the Terence Crawford train, man. More and more people are starting to see it the way I see it. And, you know, I run into the silliest fanboys on on my platform. I run into the silliest people. I was talking about height. You know, I know it's not that big of a height difference with Canelo and Crawford. It's like 1 inch between the two. Crawford being a taller guy, 5'8" to 5'7". But this one guy told me I was a casual because height doesn't matter in a fight. He just destroyed his credibility. And he's just talking stupid. I mean, how in the world can you say height doesn't matter? So you're telling me when Lennox Lewis fought a guy like Justin Fortune, height didn't matter? If you know how to use your height, it matters. If you don't lower yourself to the opponent's height, if he's shorter, if you lower yourself, it doesn't matter. If you know how to use your height, you'll win. And most of the time, if you're taller, you have the longer reach, so you can use the jab and win with just the jab. Now, not all the time. Sometimes shorter fighters have a longer reach. I believe Ray Mercer from Armpit to Fist had the longer reach than Lennox Lewis, you know. But a lot of time they do the wingspan and measure your back and stuff. But just armpit to fist, like HBO started measuring, you know, most taller guys have the longer reach. So I don't know what dude's talking about. And Jose Benavidez, brother of David Benavidez, was talking about Terence Crawford is a bad expletive, and he wants Crawford to win. Now, that's interesting because remember the little altercation Crawford and he had, and they fought and Crawford stopped him or beat him up, something like that. I know they were in Creed 3 together, so maybe they made up on the set, but people are starting to see that Terence Crawford is not to be slept on. And the thing I found interesting, too, I didn't play that part of the interview that Seconds Out did with Jim Lampley, though. Jim was talking about when people were questioning Canelo about fighting David Benavidez, and he was like, well, you know, he has to prove himself. And Jim Lampley said even if David Benavidez knocked out Jack Dempsey, Canelo probably would be like, oh, you know, yeah, still got to prove himself, you know, something to that effect. So he's pretty much saying that Canelo looks like looks to always kind of elevate himself above his opponents, which can give him the edge. But to the people watching, it looks like you're ducking when you see these great fighters and you're like, I don't know. They have to prove themselves. Benavidez has proven himself enough to get a fight with Canelo. I mean, if Caleb Plant has, why hasn't Benavidez? And Crawford, the same. You know, people want to talk about Crawford's age. He'll be like 38. But in boxing years, Canelo might actually be older. Didn't he start at a real young age? I'm sure he started younger than Crawford. Not sure on that. But I know Canelo's, you know, been boxing a long, long time. But like I said, more and more fighters are starting to pick Terrence Crawford. And I just run into more Canelo fanboys on my page just talking absolutely crazy, you know. They make 0 sense. Check out the live stream I did with Andrew Tucker World. And I did a live stream before that. And people better wake up, man, just because you're moving up. Andrew was saying the same thing I did. If Terrence Crawford is walking around at 180, he should be fine at 168 because he don't have to deplete himself. You know, he's just losing, what, 12 pounds or something like that? So, you know, that's maybe why he didn't look that good in his last fight at 154. He had to lose more weight. It's easier to fight at your walking around weight than losing a bunch of weight. And that's why heavyweights don't have to worry about that. But, you know, a lot of people don't understand boxing. They just go for their guy, you know, and it's starting to turn into, unfortunately, Mexicans versus blacks, and I gotta hear you just picking Crawford because he's black. You know, that same old tired argument. It's not about that. I said on a short, it's about skill. Terrence Crawford has more skill than Canelo. I've only seen Canelo fight one way. He just stalks you and breaks you down. I've seen Terrence Crawford like out-muscle people. I've seen him box people. He switches to southpaw. I've seen him do the high guard. He has multiple styles he can use, and he turns up the heat when he has to. And it's like Jim Lampley said, he has a mean streak, and that doesn't make him try it one more time. That doesn't make him emotional in the ring because, you know, if you go in there with a lot of emotions and anger, you can get knocked out. A mean streak is a little different. A mean streak is like, oh, you hit me? Well, check this out. And you come back with something, even if it's not immediate. You're like, okay, he got me. I'll get him like in maybe the next round and, you know, make him think he did something and then pow. But Crawford makes you pay. Canelo's definitely not someone to sleep on. I still hold Canelo as one of the top fighters, you know, one of the greatest chins ever. Like Jim Lampley said, he's never seen him hurt. I think he said he got knocked down. I don't remember even seeing him knocked down. So Canelo's a great fighter. Not saying he's not. It's just Terrence Crawford will win. And you guys will see. And I don't want you guys to go into the witness protection program after the fight and act like you didn't say Canelo was going to win. Do not hide. Come outside. Anyways, the J. Roos Theory again. Shout out to Seconds Out for a great interview with Jim Lampley. And shout out to Seconds Out a couple months ago for doing an article on me when I interviewed Jet Blackwell before the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Oh yeah, Jake Paul said he's got Crawford too, so there's someone else. Anyways, the J. Roos Theory. If you wish to donate to the J. Roos Theory, the Cash App is $JRoos33. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's the J. Roos Theory over there too. LSR forever. And be fearless. Unless you're a Canelo fanboy, then you need to, you know, probably be alert. Be alert. Like I said, LSR forever. Thanks for watching. Be fearless. Yay to the yay.